Mark, would you please come up? Thank you. Appreciate that. Oh, good. I'm a lot louder than this. Not a thing I need that. Read a marker somewhere I can read?
Insert a marker.
Back. No, no, back. I just need to know where it is. Terrific. All right, how much time do I have left?
You have the rest of the evening to go.
Till midnight. Oh, that's wonderful.
At least
so happy to hear that.
At least 50 people want to go ahead and listen.
Until people have to leave to go to work. So tomorrow morning.
Right.
Right, it's even better.
Just put the mic up.
Right. Well, I've used mics just a few times. Just a few times. She's laughing because she heard me at it last night and did it. We had a lot of fun. Well, let me get a quick feel for the audience. How many people here are here for the first time? Can I see? Good, we got a few first timers. Okay. How many people? Yes, welcome. Come back. Right? Come back. People ask me all the time, what would you tell a new person? How many new people do we have? Let's see, nice and high. How many hands? New people. We only got 2 new people. Wow, everybody else here has done deals. Man, I got an advanced crowd. This would be great. I can go right. Let me try again. How many new people have never done a deal are here tonight? How many people have never done a deal? Okay, we got like, see, you have to do better than this. You have to get that hand up a little higher. Okay, we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, okay, now they're starting to come. Okay, let me give you a clue. If you're shy, you're not going to make much money in this business. If you avoid people and avoid participation, that's only going to cost you $1 million if you're in Texas. It costs you about 5 or 10 if you're in California. So there's this thing called participation where you raise your hand and you exercise, stretch. How many people are new here tonight? Can I see a nice raise of hands? Okay, a little better. Making progress. Okay. I see we got some mindset work to do tonight here. So the only obstacle is the person in the mirror. The only obstacle you have is you. Right now, you have access to millions and millions of dollars of real estate. You have access right now to millions and millions of dollars of money. How much money do you think is in this room in private lenders alone? Anybody want to venture a guess?
1 trillion.
Millions. Because here's the thing you've got to understand. Not only is it their money, but it's their network's money. Now, one of the first things I ask people all the time is, how big is your network? I got some new person getting started, and they say, where should I start? Your network. Actually, your mindset. Your mindset, and second is your network. Because your network is a reflection of your mindset. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
How many people here think they might know what creative finance is? All right, we got 1, 2, 3. Okay. How many people have no idea what creative finance is? Oh, good. A couple of those, too. How many here who's not too advanced, beginner or intermediate, want to do your best shot explaining what is creative finance? Who's pulling the great volunteer? Right here.
Creative finance is very simply not using the bank. So it could be cash, it could be a promissory note, it could be owner carry, it could be subject to. It's just whatever's not using the traditional bank, maybe real estate agent, something different.
Okay. So can I buy a house all cash and use creative finance at the same time?
Absolutely. Yes.
It's just not my cash. Okay? It's just, how much more real estate could you buy if you never had to use your own cash?
A lot.
How much more could you buy if you didn't have to go to the bank or get a loan or qualify or have a job? I had an audience about this big back probably about 20 years ago now in Dallas, Texas, and this is the real group that was there, and they had, we got probably 60 some here. That group was, I want to say 30, 40 people, but they invested in the real group in a training we had that was 12 weeks long, about 3 months. And in that we said, if you do exactly what we tell you to do, let me repeat that, let me go rewind. This is the difficult part. If you're coachable and you listen and you take action and you implement and you do exactly what we tell you to do, we can virtually guarantee, at the very least, you'll have a deal under contract within 90 days. Does that sound pretty powerful?
Yes.
Does that even sound amazing to anybody?
Yes.
But that's even possible.
Yes.
Now here's the thing to understand. A little my own backstory. When I first started out, I was scared. I'm sure nobody else here is scared, but I was shy. I'm sure nobody else here is scared or shy like I was. However, I stuttered. That made it a little more difficult? Yeah. So, I never had a girlfriend until I was 28 years old. I got a college degree in finance. My first job out of college was as a security guard in 1980, making $3.25 an hour. Most of you are further along already than I was when I started real estate. I grew up in Michigan, graduated on Saturday, left on Sunday, was in Dallas, Texas on Monday. I brought some friends, they went ahead, they got jobs. I interviewed, I couldn't get any second interview callbacks because I get nervous and wet. It was tough. So I had to overcome some obstacles. Many of you will have to overcome some obstacles. A lot of it has to do with our past programming and conditioning. Does that make sense? So, anybody here heard of Toastmasters?
Yeah.
Good. Anybody been a Toastmaster? It currently is a Toastmaster.
Yeah.
Those of you who are familiar with Toastmasters, nice and loud, would you recommend Toastmasters for investors?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay? Why?
They make you talk.
They make you think on your feet. So Toastmasters is not so much about public speaking as it is building confidence. So the number one thing that helped me as a real estate investor was getting involved in Toastmasters so I could learn how to think and communicate more effectively. Do you think you need to be a good communicator if you're going to be an investor?
Yep.
Here's the number one thing I tell people all the time. You are not in the real estate business. If you're not in the real estate business, what business are you in?
The people business.
We're in the people business, and the thing you need to study even more than real estate is people. You need to become a master at learning how to listen and how to communicate with people. That's the reason why people aren't doing deals. You don't know how to listen and gather information and solve problems, because when you do, there's lots of people who have problems. Now, here's the other problem. Thinking you're doing it all alone. The problem in general with many real estate entrepreneurs is they're the one-trick pony, they're the Lone Ranger, they're the I'll do it all by myself. Now, you go up against a professional sports team, and it's you against the team, who's going to win? The team's going to win every time. You have to develop a mindset where, number one, you're thinking, who is in my network? And more importantly, who needs to be added to my network? There are people right here tonight who you need to add to your network. Does that make sense?
Yes.
The first most important thing you've got to do is overcome yourself and your reluctance to talk to people. Your reluctance to meet new people. I can't tell you how often I go to a meeting like this and I see somebody sitting there on their device, and there's all this opportunity to network before the meeting. I'm thinking to myself, are they ever going to make it? They're on their device, they're sitting next to their partner. When I have somebody I know and I go to a meeting, I say, you sit in that side of the room, I sit in this side of the room. Sometimes the person says, why? I want to sit next to you. You can sit next to me anytime. You need to go sit over there and meet the person on your left and right and front and back. You need to meet 4 or 5 people. Really? Why is that? You know that money you're looking for? They might be sitting right next to you. But you'll never know if you never talk to them. You know that deal you're looking for? It might be right next to you. But you'll never know if you never talk to them. I'm telling you right now, there's deals that you're looking for that come into these rooms with these people. The deal you're looking for, the money you're looking for, anything and everything you're looking for, it's through other people, and this is a concentrated focus of like-minded people, a mastermind. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So the first most important thing is you must invest in yourself. You must work on yourself. You must grow, you must change, you must become better, faster, stronger. Anybody heard of Jim Rohn?
Yes.
Okay. I was on staff for Jim Rohn back in the 80s, and I had the opportunity to not only hear him speak in person many times, I would fill a whole, like 2,000 to 3,000 people. I would help be on the team going out speaking. And so I got one-on-one time with Jim Rohn. Matter of fact, I had the good fortune one time, Jim Rohn couldn't make it from California to Houston, and I stepped up and spoke in his place. That was about 20 years ago, or probably longer than that now, actually. So Jim Rohn, R-O-H-N, is one of the people I recommend you learn. I've had many mentors in my life. My goal most of the time has been to meet them, preferably while they're still alive. Anybody heard of Anthony Robbins?
Yeah.
I'll never forget. Anybody heard of Mark Victor Hansen, who wrote Chicken Soup for the Soul? Well, back in the early 80s, when I was really working to overcome all these obstacles, self-imposed obstacles in programming and conditioning, Mark Victor Hansen spoke at a church. It was one of those, positive type churches that positive goals and all this kind of stuff. So anyways, he said, have 100 goals. I'm thinking 100 goals? I can barely get 10. How am I going to come up with 100 goals? What kind of goals? Well, if my 100 goals that I came up with, because he said, extended period of time, whatever it takes, but just start forcing yourself to use your creativity and imagination. Use your what?
Creativity.
Your creativity and imagination. That's the only thing that's lacking. If you don't have as much money, it's because you're not using your creativity and imagination. That's where you get money. How many people have heard a book called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill? Notice the title, Think and Grow Rich. Most of us are not applying our thinking, and part of our ability of our thinking is our creativity and our imagination. Did you know that money is an idea? Money is an idea. Fortunes have been built on a single idea. It has to do with your thinking. It has to do with changing your thinking. It has to do with increasing your awareness. So as you begin to study every day, should you study consistently or inconsistently? I'm telling you, how many people heard a book called, what's that one on habits, the new one that came out?
Atomic Habits?
Atomic Habits. How many have heard or read Atomic Habits? That's a must-read again, too. Like he talks about in that book on Atomic Habits. 1%. Did everybody here make a 1% improvement in one day? Just 1%, right? Just 1%. But what happens if the next day you do another 1% consistently? And another 1% consistently? Where are you going to be in 12 months if you just consistently improve 1% per day? The compound effect, 365% plus in the next 12 months. So I'm telling you right now, the only reason why you don't have more money is because you've got past programming and conditioning that's like a thermostat. You think there's a thermostat in this building here? Yeah, it regulates the temperature. If it gets too hot, too cold, it kicks in automatically, unconsciously. You also have a thermostat. Are there people here in this room making $100,000 a year? Absolutely. Are there people here in this room that might be also making $1 million a year? Is the person making 10 times as much money working 10 times harder?
Probably not.
No. Are they 10 times smarter?
No.
I mean, we got 24 hours a day. Are they working more than 24 hours a day? People who make more money than anybody else, they think differently. They think and perceive differently. They talk to themselves. I never forget one time I heard Mark Victor Hansen